In this lessons episode, we delve into the world of personal branding. You will learn how building a strong personal brand can differentiate individuals from competitors, attract clients, and enhance credibility. You will also gain valuable insights into the importance of personal branding and how it can also open doors to new opportunities and collaborations. Let's talk about personal brand. Why is it important? Why should an entrepreneur starting a company care about PR for themselves versus their business? And walk me through that and what you've experienced.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you a question. Nate, what do you think of why does Gordon Ramsay and Jamie Oliver make so much money as a chef, but the guy at the local steakhouse, awesome guy, is making 80 grand a year when Gordon and Jamie are making 80 million a year? Why?
Mm-hmm. It's them. It's
them.
Who they are.
It's the celebrity brand factor. They've been put a lot of marketing, a lot of promotion into, and they're built up. Now, are they the best chefs? No. Are they a great chef? Absolutely. Are they the best looking guys? No. Gordon Ramsay has definitely got a face for the kitchen. You know, he even says that. Are they the best spoken? No. It's because they've figured out, or a team has figured out, hey, how do we market this person? How do we take Gordon? How do we take Jamie Oliver, right? And amplify their message, amplify them as the celebrity or the leading expert in their space. And guess what? They get all the choices. Gordon Ramsay has restaurants around the world, right? Because he's that face. He's the guy. He's got influence. And I think if people can understand it's okay to get some celebrity aspects to your brand without having to be the JJ or the Gordon Ramsay. You don't have to go to that level, right? But you can do it in your own space to at least be seen with more star power so that you get chosen over the next coach, over the next podcaster, over the next guy selling real estate. Dude, I'm in Miami. You know how many realtors are in? Everyone's a realtor.
Unlimited.
You know?
Unlimited realtors, everybody. The population of Miami, that's the amount of real estate
deal. Yeah. But the point is, why are these people getting chosen and not? And I think everybody listening, because one thing I had to do was be okay with, you got to take your ego out of it and realize it's not the best. It's not the best website, the product, man. It's sometimes just the person that's constantly be seen, the guy who's promoting, you know?
Yeah.
And
it's a human component. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, they connect. Yeah, well, you know, the thing that I do with the people I work with is, listen, we can get their attention, right? But how do we keep their attention, and how do we make them keep coming back? It's like, we don't want to give you the new plastic surgery look on your face with no personality because you ain't picking up anyone at the bar, right? You look good.
Yeah.
But where's the soul? Where's your personality? So back to your question, yeah, it's really important that personal branding is people are really like gravitating towards people who they can connect with. And they want to know more than you're a great, good-looking person with a great product. What does he do in his personal life? Is he married? Does he have kids? How can I connect with this guy? Oh, he has a heart. Now I want to invest with you. No, I like him. And I know I can go on about this for ages, Scott, but anyone listening, ask yourself this. When you make a decision on something you've bought in the past, maybe an online course or a person you work with, ask yourself, why did you make the decision? And I bet you didn't go, well, it was a really cool product. You're probably like, oh, I like the post that he said. Wow, he's a family man. I'm a family man, you know? Or he went to the Maldives, and I it could be something small, but personal brand has a really great way to connect with people, and that's what we want to be a part of. We want to be connected.
And just to take it a step further, if you are classically sales trained, you will know that people buy with emotion and justify with logic.
Right.
And how do you buy with that? How do you build that emotion? It's with trust. And that's where the face and the person and the founder, and we're talking about real estate, and we're talking about people that sell a variety of services online, but even, you look at Elon Musk, you look at, Richard Branson, you look at Gary Vaynerchuk, you look at the people that are enormous business names, but they're, you look at their followings even, you can say, well, Tesla's recognizable, but Elon Musk is the person people listen to. If Elon Musk didn't exist, you think people would care? You think Tesla's stock price would be so volatile if they just followed the Tesla Twitter account and Elon never said anything? No, because it's a person that you're now aligned with.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, Scott, as well, so to bring it back though, for people to understand is, and this comes up a lot with new clients. They go, well, I don't want to be Richard. I don't want to be Elon. I don't want to be JJ. And I get it. I listen, I totally understand. But what you need to do is be okay of understanding how you make decisions. So make it relatable to the person. Go, oh, I made that because of this. Great. How do we use that same technique, same principles, and incorporate that into you as a coach? You as a real.
I see. So smaller level.
Hey,
so bring
just,
it to
just go up a couple of notches, man. Get into the press. Get some authority about you. Get some more testimonials, social, like third-party validation. Maybe get a Forbes, right? Like if you had to make a decision for a house, Scott, and there were two realtors on the table, one guy was in Forbes and one guy wasn't. Both looked the same, both cool, both look well put together. You're probably you're more likely to choose to listen to the guy in Forbes because, Forbes, he must be someone.
He has credibility.
He has credibility.
Yeah. So let's talk about the strategy to get that story told.
Right.
When you're building, so I guess it would start from your story as an individual, because that's what's going to drive everything, right? That's going to drive the socials, going to drive the BR. So what is that story?
I call it, what's your hook? We play this game. I play games with my clients all the time. When they come, if you ever come to my office, Scott, we do this game. We print out a big photo of your face when you come to the office. Because I used to be an entertainer, right? So I'm very immersed when I coach and teach. So if you ever work with me, anyone, I'm going to take a big photo of your face, like print it and put it on the wall. You come in, you're going to see it like, okay, great. Who is this guy? First thing we need to do is break down like who you are, what you do, but what's your hook, right? So if I was the owner, if I was Oprah, I'll ask you this, Scott. If I was Oprah or Ellen, and I'm like, no, actually, let me change it up for you. If I was Richard Branson and I said, listen, Scott, I have 30 seconds. I've got a checkbook ready to write, but you got to woo me. You got to pitch me. You got to, what's yourself? That's got to be your hook. What's the hook?
That's a good one. What's your personal elevator pitch?
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of people don't understand that they're not just a business coach. They're not just a realtor. Like, what is the point of difference that makes you different for the media outlets to choose you over everybody else? And this is where, my expertise comes in. But like, that's one thing that's really important. You have to think of like, well, okay, you know that you're amazing. Your clients know that you're amazing, but the world doesn't. And they just think you're another coach. They just think you're another guy or another girl. So the first thing we try and do is like, really quickly, how do we find that hook for you? Right? Like, how do we why would Forbes choose you? What are they going to do? What's your move here? And it takes some time. So the first thing would be like figuring out that unique point of difference, just something. So that if there are 10 business coaches in front for Forbes to choose, they're immediately going like that without even knowing your credentials, like that pitch. Oh, that's interesting. So for me, when I was a magician, I'm not a magician. I thought I was cool enough being a magician. No. How the man from down under steals watches from around the world. That's like one little trick, right? Or the 57 million viewed man steals, when I was doing stuff more for women, like steals your heart and steals your watch. Oh, okay, I'll click on that. So coming up with the hook is a good starter move for people. Just like, okay, how can I be a bit different here?
That is being a problem writer for us.
Gotcha. And then as you build out that hook, can you give me an example of why Forbes would run a story based on a hook? Is that what they'd look for first? Is that the main thing that drives their first decision? Like, what's the content? What's the meat? Because everybody, a real estate agent does so many things. They sell homes, whatever. They show homes, they list homes, they sell homes. They all do the same thing.
Right.
So what's the content rather?
Right. So now we don't just want to be impressed with the story. We want to be led with education and shows that, wow, like this person really knows. So Forbes, especially, you got to remember, the publication is business. Forbes isn't a TED. It isn't like the 17 minutes of like your unique spin on the world. Forbes is like business to education. So to get into Forbes, they are looking for a unique spin on how maybe you sell homes. right? And it could be something simple. How Jillian Garcia, right, closes every deal in Miami by the one postcard she sends out. Okay? And here are 3 tips on how you can engage with your people more. That's like an example, right?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot for people to take on right now, but like every new media outlet, they're always looking for an angle, but they're looking for something that they can think. You got to think about, what do they want, Scott? They want attention. They struggle with the same thing we need. So the way to give everyone some moves is like, what do you do? What makes you a little bit different, right? And then how do you also put that out to the market? And you do that through your personal brand too. Like through your social media as well, because that's free.
And then all these efforts, they start to compound. But even if you're just getting into the game, obviously, you can leverage a PR agency. But let's assume even a PR agency isn't where you're at right now. It's maybe too expensive, and you're just trying to right.
I tell people, listen, you don't need me, right?
So how do you build those relationships? How the hell do I don't know Forbes. What am I going to do? Go to their contact us? Right. That's not something that's doable for many.
Okay, here's a great move, right? I'm all about moves, right? I want you to go to the places where you go every single day. Usually that could be a coffee shop, maybe a lunch place, maybe anywhere you interact with someone else that has no emotional value on you. Take your phone out and ask them, hey, Scott, I want you to be honest with me. What's up, man? How you doing? Blah, blah. Looking at my work, what does it look like I do? And ask them this question. And if it's not super clear, that's your first problem. If your messaging isn't clear, what do you think the world is knowing about you? And I used to do that all the time when I ran around the world. I was traveling on, hey, what do I look like I do? And when there wasn't a clear point of like, oh, you do this, they don't have to say you exactly do this, but like you look like this, then I have to fix it. And as you know, Scott, in sales, a confused mind is in a sold mind. Right? Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with life. If they're looking at you and like, well, I think that's a problem. And the way to fix that is get really pinpoint clear on like exactly what you do and exactly how you do it and who you help. And that will help you. And that's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Thanks for tuning in. If you found this valuable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you want to dive deeper into this conversation, check out the links in the description to watch the full episode. See you in the next one.